Everyone knows Bluey is amazing, and we're all eagerly awaiting its 4th season. But did you know there's a high chance that a fantastic Bluey movie is secretly in the works and might hit theaters in 2025? The Adventures of the Little Blue Australian Pup have become one of the most popular children's animations today. One of the biggest reasons for its success is that Bluey is not only super entertaining, but also tackles complex topics in a way that's enjoyable for both kids and their parents. And let's face it, any highly successful animated show eventually gets a full-length movie to tell new, incredible stories that wouldn't fit into a single episode. We've seen this with shows like The Simpsons and Ben 10. Even Adventure Time and The Amazing World of Gumball are getting animated movies that are sure to be amazing. If we think about it, Bluey already teased something similar with its special episode The Sign, which is 30 minutes long instead of the usual 7. Wouldn't the natural evolution of this be a full-length movie over an hour long? On top of that, the series has plenty of storylines that would benefit from being fully explored in a movie format, so it's not just wishful thinking. It's highly likely that Bluey will get a movie in 2025, potentially as a way to kick off its 4th season in the best way possible. Want to know everything that might happen in the movie? Then hop on board, because another Cinewave is starting now. One of the biggest cliches in animated movies based on TV shows is having the story take place somewhere far from the usual setting. It's common for these movies to start with the main characters preparing for some sort of special trip, whether it's a school excursion or a family vacation. And honestly, it's very likely that a potential Bluey movie will follow the same formula. Let's be real, Bluey has plenty of good reasons to go on an exciting trip. First off, she's still in school, so it's easy to imagine her boarding a bus for a school camping trip or traveling to another city with her classmates. Another great excuse for an adventure outside Brisbane is Bandit's job. He's an archaeologist and occasionally has to travel to distant locations. Imagine if Bluey's dad decided to take the entire Heeler family along on one of his work trips. How cool would it be to see them exploring an amazing country like Greece, Italy, or even Canada? To make it even more exciting, some of Bluey's extended family could tag along, like Grandpa Bob, Aunt Brandy, and Uncle Stripe's entire crew. It would also be fun if Bluey brought along a friend for the family trip. Maybe Mackenzie, since the two are such close friends, and we're pretty sure there might be something more between them in the future. This way, the movie could feature a large cast of amazing characters, giving them plenty of screen time to shine. If you'd love to see the Bluey characters traveling to another country, comment below with #trip.
What is that?
Oh no!
Since the episode Camping, fans have eagerly awaited the return of one of the coolest characters to ever appear on Bluey, Jean-Luc, a French-speaking Labrador who developed a beautiful friendship with Bluey. Unfortunately, their time together was cut short when he had to return home to Canada. What if his return happens in this potential Bluey movie? If the Heeler family really goes on a big trip abroad, it would be the perfect opportunity for Jean-Luc to make a comeback. Maybe their destination could even be Canada. But realistically, they could reunite anywhere since Jean-Luc's family seems to love traveling. After all, they spent their vacation in Australia, right? It would be amazing to see Bluey reconnect with her friend from another country, especially since many fans think the two could make a great couple when they grow up. Speaking of which, this would also be the perfect moment for Jean-Luc to meet Bluey's close friend, Mackenzie. After all, Mackenzie is one of the characters fans most often ship with Bluey. Now imagine these two interacting. Bluey would definitely be thrilled to see her Canadian buddy again, which might make Mackenzie a little jealous. Not necessarily in a romantic way, but more in the sense that he might feel like he's losing his best friend to someone else. This could create an interesting conflict for the movie, with Mackenzie hilariously competing with his rival. Of course, eventually, the two would work things out and maybe even become friends themselves. However, since we know Jean-Luc and Bluey will meet again as teenagers, it's possible they could both develop feelings for her in the future, reigniting this rivalry in a much more intense way. Could the series ever reach that point in the story?
That's crazy.
A Bluey movie could also be the perfect opportunity to address one of the most emotional and somber aspects of the Heeler family's backstory, the loss of Chili's first child, who, as we've gathered from the show, tragically passed away before birth. At the start of the movie, something seemingly minor could happen, triggering Chili's most painful memories, similar to what we saw in the show when Bingo's balloon, meant to mimic pregnancy, popped and visibly unsettled Chili. This trauma could lead Chili to imagine an alternate reality where her first child had survived and grown up as Bluey and Bingo's older brother. In this scenario, we could see some of the show's most iconic scenes reimagined, with this older sibling playing a role in them. Such reflections would undoubtedly leave Chili deeply emotional, opening the door for a poignant moment where Bandit or even Brandy comforts her, or perhaps both of them. Bandit would naturally share the pain of losing their child, while Brandy, who deeply understands the heartbreak of struggling to have children, could provide unique support. If the movie addresses this sensitive subject, it's likely that Chili would find a way to cope with her grief with the love and support of her friends and family. While no one can fully move on from such a profound loss, it's possible to learn to live with it, and that's a message the movie might aim to deliver, staying true to the show's ability to leave us in tears with its heartfelt lessons. As Bluey is a rainbow baby, a child born after the loss of a sibling and likely after many challenging attempts by Chili and Bandit to expand their family, the bond between her and her mom could grow even stronger if the movie explores this chapter of Chili's life. Before we dive into even more exciting possibilities for this Bluey movie, how about this? You hit our subscribe button and we'll keep delivering daily videos about all your favorite animated shows. Sound like a deal? Perhaps the Bluey movie might take on heavier themes than usual, and if that's the case, Grandpa Bob's life could truly be at risk. Amid funny scenes, family drama, and moments of jealousy, the film might dare to tackle something many fans have speculated for a long time: Grandpa Bob's passing. Given his advanced age, Bandit's father might have a serious health issue that he hasn't revealed yet, not to us, nor to his family. We could learn this heartbreaking news alongside Bandit himself, who would undoubtedly have a hard time processing it. Unfortunately, there wouldn't be much anyone could do if the story revolves around an incurable illness that's already in its final stages. In this case, Grandpa Bob might only have a few months left to live. The only thing Bandit and his siblings could do is make the most of the time they have left with their father. Do you think the creators of Bluey would dare to tackle something this heavy? If they do, they'll deserve all the applause and a lot of tears when Grandpa Bob delivers such a shocking revelation. If this happens, the 4th season might begin with Bob having already passed away. And in the subtle style typical of the show, we might only realize this during a quiet moment when Bandit looks wistfully at a photo of his father. But there's also a chance the series might want to explore this topic more deeply, dedicating an entire episode to Bob's funeral, which would surely tug at our heartstrings even more. The special episode The Sign brought great news about Brandy. After many years of trying, Chili's charismatic sister is finally pregnant. She must have undergone an effective treatment as she had struggled for years to conceive. And since her belly is already quite big in this episode, it's safe to say the birth of her baby isn't far off. Could the movie miss the chance to include an emotional moment where Brandy's water breaks and she goes into labor? If this does happen, it'll likely be toward the end of the film. Perhaps a big family discussion or heartfelt conversation is taking place when suddenly Brandy yells that her water has broken. At that point, chaos will ensue, and the entire family will rally together to get her to the hospital. There, she would finally achieve her dream of giving birth to her long-awaited baby. If this scene happens, it will undoubtedly have everyone crying their eyes out. I know I'll be a mess, totally dehydrated. But if this moment happens alongside the storyline about Chili's lost child, we might witness something even more tear-jerking. A scene where Chili recalls the name she had chosen for her first baby, only to see Brandy use that name for her child as a tribute. This emotional moment would be the perfect way to end the movie on a high note, and if this doesn't earn the production an Oscar for Best Animated Film, it would be a complete injustice. The video is wrapping up now, but we've left 2 amazing videos on your screen. Feel free to click on one to keep having fun. Thanks, and see you next time!